Welcome to this deep dive into computer architecture. Today, we are exploring a critical optimization technique used in modern processors called register renaming. We will understand how it helps CPUs overcome the limitations of their instruction set and execute code faster by eliminating false dependencies. Let us start with the problem. When programmers write assembly code, or when compilers generate it, they use a specific set of registers defined by the architecture, like x86 or ARM. These are called architectural registers. The issue is that there are very few of them visible to the software, often just 16 or 32. However, a modern processor is a beast capable of juggling hundreds of instructions simultaneously. When we try to squeeze all that parallel work through just a handful of register names, we create a bottleneck. To understand why this is a bottleneck, we need to distinguish between true and false dependencies. A true dependency happens when one instruction actually needs data produced by a previous one. We cannot avoid waiting for that data. But a false dependency is different. It occurs simply because we ran out of unique names and had to reuse a register, like R1, for two completely unrelated tasks. This name conflict forces the processor to wait unnecessarily. Let us look at the first type of false dependency, the write-after-read hazard or WAR. In this example, the first instruction reads from R1. The second instruction wants to write a new value into R1. If the processor tries to execute the second instruction too quickly, it might overwrite R1 before the first instruction has finished reading it. The second instruction does not need data from the first, it just wants to use the name R1. This stall is purely artificial. The second type is the write-after-write hazard, or WAW. Here, two instructions both try to write to R1. The rest of the program expects the final value of R1 to come from the second instruction. If we execute them out of order, the first instruction might overwrite the second one, leaving the wrong value in the register. Again, this is just a conflict over the name R1. This is where register renaming saves the day. The concept is simple but powerful. The CPU realizes that R1 is just a label used by the software. Internally, whenever an instruction writes to a register, the CPU dynamically assigns it a brand new physical location. It renames the architectural register to a unique physical register. To make this work, the hardware maintains a secret stash of registers. While the software only sees the 16 architectural registers, the physical hardware might have over 100 physical registers hidden away. This large pool allows the CPU to store many different versions of R1 simultaneously without them overwriting each other. The magic is managed by a structure called the Register Alias Table, or RAT. This table tracks the current mapping. In this example, the table shows that R1 is currently mapped to physical register P12. If a new instruction writes to R1, the CPU will allocate a new physical register, say P99, and update this table. Future instructions reading R1 will then be directed to P99. Here is a concrete example. On the left, we have the programmer's code reusing R1 for two different calculations. On the right, we see what happens inside the CPU. The first R1 is mapped to physical register P10. The second write to R1 is mapped to physical register P22. Now, these two blocks of code are completely independent. They can execute in parallel because they are writing to physically different locations. To summarize, register renaming is a fundamental technique in high-performance processors. It works by breaking the link between the limited register names used by software and the physical storage in the hardware. By eliminating false dependencies like WAR and WAW hazards, it unlocks the full potential of out-of-order execution, allowing your CPU to run faster and more efficiently.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.